We got our new opening. How is everybody? Hope everybody's doing well. Welcome to Golden Guys. Just like Golden Girls without all the sex at the end. So, we got our new opening. How is everybody? We got Paul.
Oh, wait, that's me. Sorry.
Look at this. First day.
And I'm shocked to see we have Chris Barrett in the chat.
Well, nice. We have Chris Barrett in the chat. Very good. So, very good. So, Golden Guys here. We're talking about Golden Age comics. Myself, I'm JD from JD Comics and comic horror in general. Introduce you to Paul. Paul, take it from here. I need to grab another Mr. Pibb like a true Midwesterner.
You know it. Chris Barrett asked how it's going with me, and well, right now I'm on a Diet Dr. Pepper, but soon I will be switching over to
Nice.
Back Pockets Copper Coin. Things are going pretty well for me, as well as can be expected with everything with Moira. But how's things going with you, DS?
I've been pretty good. I've got a bunch of books at CGC. I think I got 6 packages there, and they're just starting to be graded. So the first one I got back, I didn't get it back, but the grade posted today. And so between now and the next month or so, I should be steadily getting some of those packages back. So it's going to be exciting towards the end of the year here, comic-wise. Other than that, my life's not too exciting. Nothing really going on.
Nice. Well, we got the silly seasons upon us, so I got a lot of that going on. I did get some stuff in some auctions that are currently still going on. Some big ones going on tonight. Before we get Mike here, might as well talk about a big one. Obviously, this Comic and Neck auction tonight has been, well, let's be honest, it's got some big ones. Did we see with that Action 13? I think that hit the 160 mark.
I don't have that one. I'm either going to Action 1 I'm looking at.
There's an Action 13 9.2. I think it went for $166,000. 9.2. Beautiful copy. I mean, to me, it's very iconic cover. That was the big one so far. Right now, as we speak, a bunch are being closing right now on the comic site. Is that right? We got stuff closing right now.
Yeah, did the Action 1 close last night?
Yes, Action closed last night.
Yeah, the Action 1, that 9.4 sort of Franken book.
Yep.
9.4, 252 grand.
Yep.
So that was, I don't remember what we were talking about, but that seemed.
We said we said it wouldn't hit $1 million.
Yeah, I think that's maybe a little low. And then when I look at the Batman 1 in
before,
and that sold for like 137,000.
And the Action 13 sold for 166. The Detective 29 in a 5.0 sold for 107. That was
107,000.
107. I thought that was a little lower than I thought. But I was off by about 20% from what I think it should have been. Is that mine? Paul, is that your TV?
Yeah, let me see.
Yeah, and then there's this one in 9.0. Sold for 18,000.
Okay.
So probably about right. I mean, I feel like that even is a little high, really, but there's a lot of higher graded books than that. Copies on the census in a 9.0. But 18 grand, strong price for any pretty good horror book, really.
Right.
So that's a pretty big one there.
Yeah. Right now they've got a few things closing. Tonight's got some detectives closing and some Justice Leagues. I think the big one in this one was a few big techs that were the closing tonight. Actually, not the Justice, some Flashes that were going pretty good. So let's just do.
I have that one on my list.
There's a few Flashes. Well, there's a big thing with Flash. Has some key books that people go crazy for.
Flash is very popular, especially
especially the Golden Age. I mean, we were talking about this. Paul, go ahead. Talk about Wally West.
Wally West, he was great. Wally West is the money. You're thinking of. You're talking about the Golden Age Flash.
Yep.
Yeah, he wasn't Wally West. That's
not Wally West. You know what I mean?
I don't know his name.
Oh man, I'm totally brain farting on it.
That superhero stuff, I can't think of it.
Flash Comics. There it is. Highest price. They have an annual Flash annual one, but that's not some other ones tonight. Tonight had some big time detective books. I thought we're gonna go.
Yeah, it was Jake Garrick. That's it.
No, Jake Garrick. Good call.
This is one of my favorite techs. This is a Tech 8.
Yeah, I was gonna. We would talk about when before you got on his night.
And this is.
Well, we'll bring him back when he's ready. We're hearing a feedback.
Yeah, a lot of feedback from somebody.
Yeah. Tonight. Yeah, tonight. Something's going on. Yep. You can't hear it though.
I can hear it.
Mac Daddy Austin said, "Is he playing dubstep?"
Thank you.
Okay, he fixed it now. All right, we're good. We got through the dark times.
Yeah, so this one sold for $16,000, tied for second highest graded. I think that's a pretty good deal for this book. These pre-bat techs, but I'm biased because I like the pre-bat techs. But a Tech 8 and an 8.0, these early techs are super tough to find at all. And if you can even find an underscored copy, it's a gem. And this is 8.0. $15,000.
Great.
There's a
Great.
CD
Craig Celestial
underground
cover on that.
comic collectors, Knights, what do you think about this? Oh, by the way, Knights, did you see that Action 13?
How much?
166. So higher than we thought but still, well, you said 150 would be the peak. I kept saying it would be 150, went a little higher. The one that I think went a little lower was the Tech 29 and a 5.0, 107. Considering where the Batman 1 went, the 4.0 went for what, 130 and change? So,
wow. Hey, I'd rather have that tech.
Yeah, I mean, to each his own, but we all have our own.
Joker. People like the Joker.
The 137, 137 for that. First appearance of the Joker, I guess. Yeah, I mean, it's also Batman 1. I get it, and the pinup on the back. I get it.
Yeah, there's a little book that was in here. I don't think we talked about it, but it's the first appearance of Captain Marvel of the Wiz Comics 1.
The Wiz 1, what's it, a 5 or 4?
9.2 restored.
Oh, the restored one. Nah, I kind of skipped over.
Is that another Franken book?
Yeah, I mean, it's color touch, pieces added, tear sealed, fine split sealed, cleaned, interior lightened, reinforced. So yeah. I'm out. Expensive professional, it looks like, but this one ends tomorrow. But it's it's still 9.2 Franken book, whatever. Tough book to find. Current bid is 19.6. I feel like that's pretty low. I wouldn't buy it, but I mean, I feel like if you're in the market for it and you want a good looking copy,
Well, that's
it's
like
isn't
that about what a 1.5 goes for unrestored?
That's what I'm saying. Like a 9.2 restored is still should be more than. I mean, it'll go up. It ends tomorrow, but or 2 days from now. But it's only at 19. I think that was low when I saw it. So,
but I think it might kind of be a reaction to the. I think people are kind of against the whole Franken book thing, and it's starting to show. I mean, they're not against a restored book, but when they're against a book that's made up of 30 different books,
big time collectors are shying away.
Yeah, that's why I think that Action 1 and 9.4 of the Franken book, $250,000.
Yeah,
it seems a little low for what it is, but
one of the things, one book here's one that I think is going. I don't know how to put this. It's got a QES certification on it. Okay, it's the 8.0 More Fun comic. It still has a full day to go. More Fun 73, and I've been talking about this book as I kind of consider this book as a if you're gonna get into the really high end big boy book, this is the one that I think has got the most room because of its rarity and its high grade in there. But again, your main characters are not on the cover, so that tends to bring it down. Anyway,
I think it's adjusting.
It currently bid 48,000, but it has a QES certified criteria met, which is preferred staple placement, exceptional fine deep color strikes, and deep reds. And this, of course, is the first Aquaman and Green Arrow and Speedy. I'm just saying, of all the books I've seen out there, of all the Golden Age superhero books that I hear people talk about from the DC era, from their, the fun comics, the more fun comics. I know the Spectre covers, they're kind of falling below the radar right now compared to your text and your action. Anybody else thoughts?
I don't know about that. To me, because they were pretty undervalued, and then I don't know, maybe 5 years ago or so, they spiked huge, and I feel like now they're coming down a little bit. Similar to Wonder Woman, I feel like some of these more niche characters, it can be up and down with them. But I mean, I think they'll never go below a certain amount, but they won't just steadily rise as much as, say, like, Spider-Man, Superman, Batman.
Let me ask you this. I'm not sure what that is. Does that mean that
we have everything. Okay, now go.
I guess it's nights. I don't know.
But it'll stop now.
All right. Well, so that More Fun 73 and an 80 is certainly and a Showcase 4, and a Showcase 4 in like an 8.5 just sold on eBay for $70,000, and this is a little over half that. So I don't know. I think it's low too, JD. I mean, this is an 80. More Fun 73. I think it's bigger than a Showcase 4.
Yeah, I mean, it has that QES sticker, which I don't know if it is a popular thing or if it's a big time criteria. Just one of those things that I just saw it as out there. Anything else you want to talk about? I was going to bring up about a few others ones on the auction I thought were semi-interesting out there. Obviously, the More Fun, the action. We talk about it. There is that Superman 1 that's a Frankenstein. It's a 9.0 Frankenstein book. Still, it's a CBCS copy. Give you an idea of how it's a 9.0 Frankenstein book. Still has 2 days to go, but only 17,000. It's pretty extensive. I don't even know what it is. It's everything's added.
Well, there's another good one here. Silver Streak 1.
Yes, first Yellow Claw.
9.6. Now this is not a Franken book. Straight up unrestored blue label 9.6.
I saw that book. That's
the current bid on this. This ends in 2 days. Current bid's 32.5.
Now
so that's tougher to find than the other superhero ones.
Is that a pedigree one, or is it just?
What's that?
Was there any pedigree on that one, or is it just one that?
Yeah, I'm trying to see what it is. If there is, I think it's Mile High, maybe.
I mean, 9.6, you would expect it to be Mile High.
It says file copy, so it doesn't have a pedigree. It just says.
Oh yeah, there are the Silver Streak. I mean, that's got to be first Claw though, right?
Yeah, first appearance of the Claw, and it's the one with the silver foil logo.
Yep, silver foil logo. That's the big thing with that one.
Well, yeah, this is a really tough book to find at all. You hardly ever see it for sale. You'll see a 9.6. I mean, I'm sure it's the highest graded copy.
Perfect. Speaking of highest grade, there's a Justice League #2. It's a Silver Age, I guess, book, but it's out there. It is the highest grade. It is a near mint plus 9.6. It's Murphy Anderson. It's the highest graded right there. It's the Justice League #2. The reason why I bring that up because it's already hit the 20,000 and higher. So somebody said 25,000 or more. Just bringing it up there. That it's apparently it's harder to find in a 9.6 than they thought. So brought that up because we would talk about that on the boards. One of the hardest books to find, and people brought up you want to see the hard one, something you won't see again, a 9.6 in that Justice League 2. So.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one. And there's those collectors out there looking for highest graded copies to fill out a run of some of that early stuff. And those don't come up a while. You got several big collectors going after that. So the price will jump up the end on that. And then, some of these things drag out on Comic Connect because they don't have they have like a soft close, and if you bid within a couple minutes of it, it adds 3 more minutes. And then with a book like that, people are making phone bids and relaying information back and forth, so it can drag on for a long time.
You can reevaluate your whole comic collection during that 3 minutes.
Yeah, it's a long time. Yeah, that's why I did win something on Comic Connect, and I was laughing because I went to bed and I said I'm not going to worry about it. If it happens, it happens. That's exactly the way. I have no time to sit there and play the game on Comic Connect or any. I just can't do it anymore. I've tried to do the stay up late or set the alarm. That's the thing. Like when you set the alarm for like the eBay one, I'm such an idiot with it sometimes. I figure, all right, just give me 10 minutes. But then I'm like, all right, let me put my bid in with 5 minutes to go and go back to bed. Sure as shit, I get outbid at the last second. I got to stick with it at the end. And like it's weird because sometimes like how much would I pay for that? Oh, let's just say random number, $77.50. Okay. Yeah, all right, I'll go to 80. Okay, yeah, but might as well go to 82. Eventually, you're going to cap yourself up to 100. So you got to figure out what you want to do. And I capped myself on that, and I said, that's it. I'm not going above that book. And sure as shit, I'm always getting outbid by a buck.
It's usually being outbid by me, who's
one of you guys.
or Knights, who has that snipe software that goes.
One of you guys is sniping me, and some of you guys in the chat are doing this.
He sets the snipe software, and he don't have to worry about it. I don't like machines doing things for me, so I set my alarm. I get up and I wait till 2 seconds, and I hit bid. And if I'm willing to pay 80 for something, I will usually bid like 84.92 or something. I'll jack it up a little bit because I don't want to lose by a couple bucks, but I don't want to go 10% over what I'm wanting. $500 book. If you're going to go 10% over, you're paying $550. I don't want to do that, and there's tax and shipping. So I add a little bit on top of my high bid because nothing's worse than losing something by a slimmest of margins if you just would have added a little bit on.
I always think, how much more would I pay to not have lost?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sometimes that could be a lot.
It could be, yeah. I mean, I lost 2 this weekend that belong in my collection that I just can't believe. Then it's very specific books. They're very, very specific.
And when you lose that way,
and I won't see them again probably in my life. So
yeah, like say I put $500 more or something.
I mean, if I do see it again, I'll see it again.
Then if I still lose, then I'm like, whoof, good thing I lost. Because, I mean, it's just someone really wanted that thing worse, way more than me.
And then sometimes it works out great where you put in your max bid and you win it way under your max bid. Yeah. Like, whoa, I was prepared to overpay for that apparently. But you feel like you get a bonus because you're covered and you see a little bit still way under. That's happened to me a few times where I've been willing to overpay for a PC book and it stayed way below my max bid, which is always nice. Then you feel like you're getting a rebate almost.
Yeah, TJ said he won an 8-0 Jungle Comics last week.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm sure you did there, TJ. Now, actually, it's funny. It was one of my Thor pedigree, Thor versus Hero books. It was on my list, and I saw it, and it was going for such a cheap price. And I bid it, and then I'm like, let me go do something else, and I just forgot about it for like 3 minutes. And then I'm like, oh, God damn it, I forgot. And swore up a ton. But one of the best people on the Facebook, on eBay buying is TJ. He has taught me quite a bit on it, and I'm pretty new to that. Knights, did you have this week's fun? I'm going to shout out the chat.
We got to do that because it's still November.
Right, we have to do November's in December. We got to do the first.
Last week of November, and then I'll do a big
Yep.
December one maybe next week.
Okay, good. So let's do this. I'm going to shout out the chat. And first up, we got Chris Barrett. Can't start a show without Chris. We never will. We got DS, of course. He's here. Charles McLaughlin. Very good to have you here. Very good. JP's Budget Collecting. Just having him. Mac Daddy Austin. Very good. TJ, this Lab Dragon watching. Who Dat Comic and Movies. Always one of my favorites right there. Russell. Very good. Knights is there. We got Count Von Strange. Good to see the Comic Fiend guys out there. I'm looking forward to spending some time with him, probably at CT2E2.
Nice.
And like I told Mr. Gretzky 996, just like you. This is just like Golden Girls, just without all the sex appeal. So we're sorry about that. So now,
one more thing about bidding is so
this is
during
online
the
eBay bidding.
well on Comic Connect, the 3-minute thing,
Right.
where the big guys duke it out. That's when all the comics in my personal collection look at each other like, oh shit,
We're getting sold.
because I'm starting to think like, well, I could sell, like, would I give that plus this money to get this book? And I'm like, if sometimes they're like, yeah, easily. Then I'm like, boom. So
A lot of times, a lot of us do deals, and it's not like we buy the book right away. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. Sometimes we do a deal where, okay, I'm really interested in this book, and it's, say, 10 grand. I'm really interested in this book, and I have a book here that I know I can sell for about 8, and I just got another one I could sell for 2. It might worth it for me to sell the one for 8, but I'm not going to sell that for 8 unless I put it towards this. Hey, if I sell this one here, maybe you want to do a trade, or you're interested in one. It happens where he says, okay, I'll hold this one for you. I'll hold the big one for you, the 10,000 one for you. You let me know how it goes, and then you sell it. You put it there. You got this going on an auction. The dealers are usually reasonable, and the dark, seedy underworld of comic deals exists. It exists. I think it's now Instagram has brought some of it to the forefront, because I noticed a lot of these people on Instagram that are doing deals back and forth and everything else. So the guys that I used to deal with at cons, or I used to deal with on the boards, and now we're just laughing at how we've been so hidden forever. Now we all know what each other look like and everything, So, but it is there. There's a lot of deals going down all the time. So,
anyway, stuff like that for me, I'll if there's a book coming up that's like $5 grand or whatever, and I want to get $5 grand together for it. If it's coming up in an auction, like Comic Link auction, in a month or something, I'll go ahead and pick out books that I can make a profit on.
Yep.
I definitely want to make a profit. I'm not trying to just tread water. So I'll pick books I can make a profit on. I'll try and sell them, but some of these books are not super liquid. They'll sell, but they might not sell in time. So I'll start early, put them out there, and if they sell, I'll have enough to go after that. And if they don't, they don't. But sometimes a book is up right now for sale, and you're like, man, if I can put together $5 grand, I'll do it. Well, do you want to put out your book for sale and get the sale, but the other one sells, and then you don't have either one? I'm sort of all right with that these days, because the way I look at it is all these books are sort of like investment assets, and I just replace one cool book with another cool book over time. All the books I have are cool, but they're not always the same books. So, yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with selling big books at a profit to buy other books, and try to do it in enough time to cover yourself. But if not, whatever. I mean, it's just, what's the worst that happens? You sold a big book at profit. If that's the worst problem you face as a collector of big books, you're doing a good job. If your biggest problem is selling books for a profit and you didn't get something else, that's a good problem to have.
I mean, you could. No one wants to say this, but you can. I've used credit to. You just have to be disciplined.
Yeah.
If because the thing is, you have to if you're like, well, I'll sell that and then I'll get that book. But I don't have. I'll borrow and then sell it. I mean, you just have to know yourself that you do that, and I've done that so many times that you just kind of know and you can get like 0%. You don't really pay anything. But like you said, sometimes you have to be willing to take a little bit of a loss if you want to try to get the money within a certain amount of time. Because some of these books, especially Golden Age, they'll take a while to get. If you want to get the real price that you're really hoping for, it could take a long time.
Right.
Yeah,
But
like I say, when you're
people,
the rule for me when you're selling is not holding out for that last dollar. What you want to do is get a profit, get something on the plus side as fast as possible. There's a time element to it. If you get full value, but it takes you 5 years to sell it, what good is that? I'd rather get less than that and sell it quick. But as long as you can maintain a profit level. So it's what you're comfortable with. But if you can make a profit on books and move in and out quick, you can get a lot more accomplished than sitting on things and being stubborn and holding out for the last dollar. So, if I have a book that I think fair market values, I had that Suspense 8, which I really felt was like a $2,100, $2,200 book that I sold. I took like 18 on it, but I got it done quick. Now I could have sold it a little quicker by dropping the price much more, but I would have lost a lot more money and it wouldn't have been that much quicker. And I could have held out a lot longer for a few hundred extra bucks. I felt like going just a little under FMV, but getting a done deal on a book I only paid $700 for, slam dunk. That was a huge win for me, and I didn't get fair market value on that. It was probably like 20% below fair market value. That was all right. I'm fine with that.
You could also do time payments.
Which, doing time payments or playing on credit. I don't like having loose ends out there.
Yeah.
So that hampers me a little bit, honestly, because all the books I buy outright for cash.
And you got to be very disciplined. But time payments is a little better for you if you're worried about
it depends on how. If it's a very specific book, I've done time payments where it's like one or two of a kind.
Yeah, and face it, I mean,
or like works of art that are one of a kind pieces that I'm like, okay, I'm really interested in that piece. And I've dealt in the original art world where I've dealt in some pieces that I really liked at the time, and then I end up not liking it and turning that around for a profit just because it was a big splash page or something. But it does happen.
I've changed my collecting style where I no longer I'm not doing a want list for 2020. I'm done with that because my collecting style at this point.
I really don't have one. Yeah.
I'm just going to take the deals as they come. I know what books I want generally, and when they come up at the right time, at the right price, at the right moment for me, I can take advantage of them. But I'm just going to sort of go with the flow and see what comes up. And that gives me more flexibility because I'm not I don't have blinders on where I have to get, M1 or I have to get, a TOS 39 or whatever it is that you want to get. There's a lot of Golden Age books out there. I'll take the deals as they come. And in the meantime, I'll do my own thing to build up a budget and profit and make money. And then I'll take the deals as they come. And I'll miss out on a lot of books, but I notice when I do want lists, I get super focused on the want list to the exclusion of other stuff. And I'll end up paying top dollar or more for a book that's on my want list and passing up a really good deal on something else. Well, why am I doing that? From now, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm just going to take the deals as they come. And there's tons of books I want, so I'll just take it as they come. I'm going to do it.
Another thing, some people, so with big books, the only thing with your approach, is say you are real patient and you're just a real stickler and you save up 50 grand. Now, a lot of people would rather have that money be doing something for them in the meantime until they get to that top. So they don't want to just sit in there. And that way they, you can use lending or time payments that way if you want to use that money. As long as you have the assets and you can turn it over quickly, then you don't have to be sitting on a pile of cash.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that definitely works. Mm-hmm. I like building up a pile of cash, though. I like just building it up to a certain level. And
I like having it in my PayPal.
Yeah,
I like having money in the PayPal that I'm like, all right, that's getting to the point where I can start going into it again. and let's go. If there's a piece that I really wanted and it came up and I took a chance on it. I'm like, okay, yep, here it is. So just
Yeah,
waiting
when I build up a budget, I'll build up a pretty decent amount. Once you get to a certain point, you don't want to spend it. It makes it much easier to save because
Yep.
you get up to 3, 4, 5 grand, you're like very careful about spending it now because now you're getting close to a legit purchase. When you only have a couple hundred or even $1,000, it's easy to spend it. If you can just get over the hump, then it makes it very easy to not spend. And then that's where you can really get rolling because you become very picky about deals. You're like, that book's good, but it's not that good at that price. And you can be much more selective. And I make the best moves when I have the more money I have, the better my moves are, is how it seems for me. So I just try to build up a big amount and then start looking around and just see what comes up. And there's a never ending string of deals. I know people are like, man, I don't want to miss out on this book, or I just lost. There's a never ending infinite supply of deals and books out there all the time. It never ends. It's this continuous cycle. So if you think about it like that as just an ongoing process, it's easier to not worry about missing out on one particular thing.
Yeah, I think it's more or less I've done that with original art. But okay, Knights, let's bring
All
it
right.
to
Let's do it.
this thing. Okay, so we're going to be sharing his screen. If you don't know what this is, real simple. What we do is we're going back in time to 1938, and we're going to get in the DeLorean, go 88 miles an hour each year up until we get to 1955. And we're going to go into the comic shop and pick out a few books that came out during that time, this week or the week before, really. Time frame that many years ago. Okay, Knights? So when you're ready. Oh, okay. We'll bring up his screen.
So these are going to be books that hit the newsstand.
The last part of November.
Last week of November.
Because we've been slacking on this thing. Is it not showing up?
It's not showing up.
Let me try again.
Okay. Sorry, everybody. We'll get this down. No, not really that sorry, though. Oh, there it is. Okay.
All right. So
39.
Yeah, there wasn't really anything. 38, we pretty much got all the good stuff. But 39, this is a good one. Bill Everett, Moving Man. I think this is, I can't see the number on this. Hopefully by next year, I'll be able to figure things out to have a little bit higher res plus, more information on it. But it's just time consuming to do all that stuff. 40, we got.
Great.
It's pretty good. Orangutan, the Wonder Dog. 41.
Some of these just came up for sale recently.
Captain, do you know? I don't know who the villain is there. Do you guys know?
No, I just know that there's a bit of collection that recently brought these up, and I've seen these on a few sites recently.
Yeah, I've never seen that. Blue Ribbon 21, I've never seen that.
Yeah, I wonder what is on his chest there.
That Amazing Man Comics is number 8, by the way.
Oh, nice. I really would like a couple Amazing Man. They don't come up very often.
Lou finds
sometimes they're cheap. They're a lot cheaper than I think they go for. Here's a USA number 3. Pretty cool.
Is that a Kirby or Simon cover?
I was thinking that would be a Simon Kirby for sure.
It looks like a Simon.
Yeah.
Kirby.
Yeah, I could see the Simon part and
see that guy being pulled on that.
Yeah, the torture wheel. That's a cool torture wheel cover. I've never seen that one before. I mean, I've noticed the torture
wheel plus a blade is coming down on him.
Yeah, he's got like a double-edged sword.
That face on Captain Terror is definitely Simon.
Yeah. There's a good shark one.
Oh, that's cool.
Prize 18.
Yeah.
Not sure what he's got there in his hand. Maybe he's bringing air to the sub. I'm not
I
sure.
think he ripped the tentacle off the. I don't know.
Oh. Maybe he can't breathe underwater.
Oh, Archie won.
Okay, here we go. We're now going to Riverdale High. First appearance, right?
I think Richie's in the chat. He probably ripped that one.
So
Is it the first appearance of Riverdale?
I don't know, because does he wear an R on the other ones?
I don't know.
9, 10, 11, 12.
Someone can count.
Counting the thousands.
Yeah.
Cost
I mean,
to buy that. Look at that. That's a great one.
what number is this? This is early.
Number 9.
Yeah, this is early.
Rangers had some great covers.
Yeah.
I love the girl in the background with the
Victoria.
the electrocuted.
Oh yeah, then. Oh yeah, that's cool.
But she almost looks sci-fi with that helmet on.
Yeah, it looks like something you'd see in Flash Gordon or something.
Yeah.
It's like a Rosetta weird science cover. Zip.
This one's pretty crazy with the 2 nooses and one looks like she's already hung.
Oh boy.
And a very, very odd sort of color strikes on these MLJs like that with almost, I don't know, it has a weird color strike where everything sort of looks like it looks filtered or something. You know, it's on the MLJs, how they look like that.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
If you can find out what's the first appearance of Riverdale. I don't remember Archie ever getting an R on his chest
I don't
until
know.
his own comic. Just throwing that out there for you internet searchers. Oh, Shadow, great cover.
Great cover.
Street Smith, man, that was good stuff.
Yeah, here's my opinion of Street and Smith books. It's impossible to remember the issues because they all have 29 volumes with 3 each, and they either are horrible or awesome. There's no in between.
Yeah,
That's how I feel about Street and Smith stuff.
Street and Smith is with the way it looks as if there are 85 number 4 issues.
Yeah,
7 number 1s of the same book that you just saw, and 90% of them are the same covers. And
I love that.
Aren't are really good.
Those teeth are awesome. Those really long teeth.
yeah, that's a really cool. I like the hands coming up on the ground too.
Yeah.
just
Well done.
that's a really awesome Shadow book.
I don't see that very often. 43. We got this one with the branding. They're gonna brand them.
Yes.
Pretty good.
This branding scene. And the Nazis are wearing the Klan outfits.
51. That's what year are we in? 44.
43. 43.
Okay.
43. Yeah. Still, D-Day hasn't happened.
And that is a backward swastika, right?
Well, no, it's actually going. It would be backwards on the brand, so that when they put it on,
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah.
one of them is the right way and one of them isn't. So look, the one he's putting in the fire would go backwards on him.
All right. So either way, this one has a correct and an incorrect swastika, no matter how you cut it.
Yeah, and it's got an incorrect on the guy who has the stick and is going to brand him as well on his hat. It's an incorrect
Oh yeah.
one. Weird. I don't know what the deal is. Maybe
correct one on the guy on the left.
yeah, I know. It's I don't know. It's like I'd be interesting to talk to someone about who came from that age and just who wasn't used to seeing the swastika, and I wonder if they just never noticed like back it just meant the same thing to them. Who knows? That one is just oh yeah, this was like something you wouldn't see today.
Right.
Some white guy pretending to be an Indian. Flannel.
Nice.
There's a Hitler.
Yep.
He's making the swastika. That's pretty neat.
That was one of the things I said, that's one of those Hitler covers. It's always been in the top 10, because he's making the swastika.
You don't see that one very often either.
No.
All Nationals don't come up very often, from what I've seen.
Yeah, you're right. Shadow. Here's Shadow.
I've never seen that one before. Yeah.
I've seen that one before.
For sale somewhere?
Not since like 80s.
Oh yeah, I've never seen one of those for sale, but I've seen it before because I researched Street and Smith titles just to see what they look like. And
The 80% of it was ads anyway for clothes and other magazines.
I like his the dagger, the hilt on that dagger is with the skull.
Has skull at the end of it. Yeah, very cool.
This is a pretty wild young allies with the lions there.
Yeah, this is pre D-Day though, right?
I think yeah. Yep. And yeah, the lips down there on the bottom left.
Yeah, I was just going to say an unfortunate depiction.
yeah, I mean, he's one of the young allies. He's on every single cover they have.
Yeah. All right.
Buffy.
Now 44. I thought that was a pretty cool looking cover.
Very easy. Blackstone covers comics are very cheap. You can find them anywhere. There are a lot of them out there. A lot in good condition. I don't know why they just don't sell that well.
Super Magician. There's just a lot of great shadows in November.
Yeah.
That one's awesome with all the
the dictator of evilness.
Yeah, I think is there Hitler on there? I'm not sure.
Like Hitler's there. Like third one.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Could be.
Yeah.
The Hydra.
Yeah.
Mixoplick.
Oh, there he is. Yeah. I wonder how it's really pronounced.
Yeah.
He pronounced it the way Ted Knight told us to in Justice League from 1973 TV show. In reality, if you look at the way it's Mimitzblick, it's spelt. It's nothing like that.
Yeah, I mean, people say it's mix it flick.
Mix it something, yeah.
That little annoying shit is how I say it.
Yeah. This one, there's only a few timelies with Captain America with a gun, and I think there's only like 6 or 8 of them. This is one of those. It's pretty good.
Nice. And how many of those have Submariner on it as well? Probably not.
Yeah, not too many.
The It Tickles. Yep.
It Tickles, yeah.
I would like that one more if it didn't say It Tickles.
Right, it's the one thing everybody said. The dumbest lyric.
It just makes it goofy. This is why I don't like Golden Age Superman. It's just, man, that would be so cool if it didn't have that stupid, goofy word bubble in my personal opinion, which is where, wherever.
This one is well known, and maybe it's because of that stupid saying. But, yeah. Black cover, though, is cool.
Yeah.
Hour 45. Christmas one. I don't know. There's people who collect Christmas comics.
People collect comic cavalcade collects. I think they have one for freaking Mother's Day, don't they?
Yeah. They might, yeah. I read that the creator of Wonder Woman, the regular writer, William Marston, always was upset about these comic cavalcade because he didn't write those, and they always made her out to be just a really bland, weak secretary.
She literally made the meal at Thanksgiving.
Oh God. So here's after 1945 November, the war has been over for a few months now. So now Black Terror is like a crossing guard, I guess. But that's still a pretty cool cover. 46. More chicks are coming. What is she got? A knife in her hand plus a torch. Okay, that's a pretty nice one, I'd have to say. It's much better than. Who's the artist, JD, on these two? Different guy.
Jumbo Jungle. What number Jungle is that?
Let's see. Jungle is 85 and Jumbo is 95.
Jumbo could be Baker in there. Jungle looks like Jack Kamen or Joe Dolan. That's Jack Kamen there. Let me look that up real quick. I have one of those. No, those are good.
She looks really stiff in this.
Well, that's Sheena. So
nice Ranger shark cover for you if you haven't seen that one.
Yeah, I've seen that one. That one's not too hard to find. That's on my list. It's a cool one.
And I think that would probably fall under my Frogman covers too.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Jungle 85 was Solardo did the woman.
This this apparatus they have, I mean, I'm guessing is sci-fi because I mean,
Well,
I haven't.
they had compressed air in, see the thing on the guy's back. They had compressed air tanks back then that they would strap on. So that's probably not too sci-fi.
Wow,
They had
that's
diving
cool.
and stuff. So I think that's somewhat realistic. Although I don't think they would just have a full glass thing over their head. Obviously,
If they did, that would be a sweet like antique to have.
yeah, I think I've seen the antiques before that have like the old diving equipment from this era.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that's pretty legit. I don't know about the headgear though, but that tank is legit, I think.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, the Jungle comic, the Jungle was Solardo with Jack Kamen, and the other one was Jack Kamen and Robert Webb and Baker.
If you compare the colors and the depth that it gives on this cover compared to like say that that one you said the color strike was bad on, I mean this is like miles above, as far as rendering and art quality. They've come a long way. Exciting. Miss Mask. I don't know if this is her first appearance, but it's one of her.
I think it's her first cover for sure.
Yeah, it's one of her prominent covers for sure. Yeah, probably Miss Mask. So that's the MM on there. I didn't even place that before, but yeah, on the side for some reason. 47, pretty classic cover. Didn't they redo this for the for the Justice League in the 50s? Feel like
something similar, I think.
Yeah, with Wonder Woman and Aquaman or something. This was a Wild Shadow one against Flying Saucers.
Yeah, they start to be less horror oriented at the the late 40s and into the early 50s on the Shadows, but still cool.
Yeah,
I never knew
at all.
Lone Ranger #1. Put that
very
back.
desirable.
Is it?
Yep.
This one is interesting. It kind of reminds me of the Suspense 3.
From a different point of view.
Yeah, that one is that one used to be pretty
Vantage
cheap.
Point B or something.
Yeah.
That one's gotten pretty popular, but
very popular now.
It's gotten pretty popular, and the prices jumped a lot in the last year or so on that book. But it's all right. This is Schomburg.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Rangers, another underwater thing for you. Interesting placement of the roundness of that little bag she has.
Oh, the bags?
Yeah, I mean, it almost looks like she's taking something off, but yeah. This, like you said, the old Supermans are just pretty stupid.
Yeah, I mean, that's creepy for me, but I like shit dark, but.
It's interesting red and blue in the background. I'm not sure what that's about.
That would look really good if you got a nice high-grade copy of that.
Oh, yeah.
Striking.
Yeah, that would look good.
That's
48. I thought this was a great cover.
I do like them. I was going to shout out that I thought that Westerns were going to have a big bump, and I thought I was wrong, but I apparently I've been wrong. These Westerns are going up pretty dramatically, according to a couple of the auction houses that I spoke with. They're interested in Westerns now.
Yeah, I mean, and there's a lot of them. Just like maybe 10 years ago or so, no one brought romance to cons or anything. And then, we know how that ended up.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, the Black Riders are very desirable.
Mm-hmm. Yep. This one, Legend brought up, so I saw that.
Is that issue #1?
I believe so. Yeah.
That's.
No, I think that's but that's issue #1 of the second series.
Oh.
That's for Shemp. Because what year is this? This is 46, right?
We're in 48.
48. Yeah, the first one's way earlier. Not way early, but this is like the first Shemp, I think.
Green Lantern is replaced by a dog, I guess, in this one. Streak the Wonder Dog.
Yeah.
That's a pretty nice, very pulp. I mean, it pretty much would be a pulp cover for sure.
Fawcett magazine. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a paint cover, maybe a Whitman or something.
Yeah.
A lot of those westerns had great painted covers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right here
They're
is
getting very, and like I said, westerns are. I mean, it's a lost art. I mean, if you think about it, The Mandalorian, what the show everybody's talking about, is a freaking western.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a western. It reads like a western comic. It just the way it just shows guns. Now, there's a few of these, obviously, that are worth a ton. I believe there's some with a shark cover that are very popular.
Yeah, 6 has the shark cover. They're all LB Cole covers.
Yeah.
Is that LB?
Yeah.
Oh.
Do you think that these are the random ones just haven't had their run yet, or?
I mean, there's nothing spectacular about them. They're cool. There's the shark number 6 is the underwater cover, the green one with the girl in heels stabbing a shark. That one's far and away the best one.
Right.
And there's only like 7 issues in the title, I think.
Cover swipe of a fight cover. That's a swipe of a Ranger cover.
Yeah, and really the second best one is probably like the duck hunting one. There's gangsters out there shooting a guy who's out there hunting or something like that. And they're good if you can find them like in a 6 or 7.0, but they're not really that sought after.
It's a Mopsy, nice, good stuff. What is she saying?
She says, now will you stop raving about her legs?
Oh, look at this. Ring a ding ding, that kitty clap, she got claws. All right.
It's a cool coat.
By the way, that genre, cartoon woman, is very popular. And I don't want to even sell it any short. They're ridiculously going for high value, a lot of these books. And I just don't mean the Archies and the Betty and Veronicas. I mean a lot of these, the Mopsies, the Stad Sacks, the other ones.
Yeah, and you used to always come across this kind of thing at like weird antique shops or pawn shops or something.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not talking the Dells. I'm talking this is legitimate companies like Mopsies and Kate. And if you see Katie Keens, those are very popular. So.
And if you see something that's pre-code and, it looks pretty sexy or whatever, and, and you could get it like for real cheap, just go for it.
Yeah.
1950, Spy Fighters.
Yeah. Well, that's,
not exactly.
We're running out of topic
here.
Yeah.
So it's the Saigon. Red Warrior.
Is that Allison? Boy Meet the Air.
Not many superheroes.
Nope.
At this point.
51, you're going to get a lot of this stuff.
Boy Meets Girl.
Yep.
All love aren't love.
Yeah.
I don't know. If I would want to encourage my daughter, to read that.
Gets worse. There's Millie. Yeah.
Even Batman had the sexy girls on there.
Home of the Batusi.
That's a pretty cool cover, I have to say.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Like a Cleopatra.
51. Oh, here we go. That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never see that one for sale.
Yeah, that looks like the guy from Street Fighter. What's his name? Bishop.
Bison, yeah.
Bison.
Now, do Plastic Man, are they all like drawn by the same guy?
Well, I don't think the guy who did Police Story 1 did this shit.
There's Jack Cole or something like that.
Yeah.
I haven't really explored his stuff.
I'm pretty sure that's bounced around.
There we go.
There you go. This is when we're into the late. This is 1951, 52. Yeah.
51.
Yeah.
Your elephant.
Yep.
Beyond.
Nice.
I don't know.
That's not doesn't even look like it. That's just like a Saturday night nowadays.
PCH DS?
That's what it looks like in Iowa.
It's PCH. That's a sort of a lower tier PCH title, but there's a couple semi-heavy hitters in that title, and this is not.
Yeah, Beyond has a few that people go nuts for.
The ace titles are tough to find in a high grade. If you can find like a low and up, even you're in real good shape.
I was just going to say same thing. Those are notoriously tough to find in high grade.
Yeah, I've had quite a few ace books, and I think the highest grade I've had is like 3.5. And
I think we were talking about Ace last week nights before DS got on when we were saying, no, I think it was Paul. I think you and I were talking that Ace books, you'll never see them in a good grade ever.
No,
they just won't see them.
Yeah, Ace and Standard are notoriously hard to find in high grades.
Ajax and Farrell's another one.
It's a pretty good one.
Yeah, Ajax Farrell because they use crappy paper too.
Yeah.
This is a very early EC, I think. One of the first.
Yeah, not 52, yeah.
Shock number 1. Astonishing, number 10.
That's a popular cover.
Walking Dead.
That's why.
Atlas books, the Atlas PCH titles are really starting to pick up because they've been underappreciated for a long time, and they're starting to be. I know it's price limit starting to go up.
Yep, I think
it's like the quality that Timely art had, or like Silver Age Marvel. These Atlas books are, all top-notch artists, and the story is decent inside.
It's Bill Everett, Joe Manili,
guys.
Yeah,
Bill Everett did
Russ Heath a bunch.
Bill Everett did Submariner in the Silver and Bronze Age. I mean, Russ Heath was doing half of the war books. Then you got all that stuff that was the Nick Hardy crossed over. Everybody crossed over. Those are great stuff. Another World. Here we go.
That's a great cover.
Very pulp stuff.
Yeah, I can't remember the artist on that. He did most of them on that title, and it's the name escaped. Norm Saunders.
I noticed a bunch of dealers are playing around in the pulp world.
Yeah, Norm Saunders cover. He did a bunch of those.
There you go. Baffling.
There's another Ace.
Yeah, that's probably even lower on the list than Beyond, though. But there's a couple bafflings that are all right. But
they're picking up baffling. They're picking up pretty quickly. I've seen them go on these latest auctions for higher than they did. So
put it this way, every second tier one is picking up because the first tier ones are all too expensive.
Yeah, exactly. And there's another cool Atlas title.
Yeah,
the name is Death.
That's a really good title. That's one of my favorite titles there. I like that one a lot.
Nice cover. Out of the Shadows.
Yep.
And that's got some good stuff in it too. That's I think a standard publication. That's got one of the in the title. It's not this issue, but it's got a wall of shrunken heads and a severed head being dipped into a bubbling cauldron.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
I think it's Out of the Shadows 8.
Oh, there's a Frankenstein. Love this book.
Frankenstein crossover.
Love this book. That is what I keep telling everybody when they talk about the strangling under the water. I said, you don't know Ghost Rider. That's some Dick Ayers love right there.
Yep.
That's one of my favorite covers, period.
53. Here we go.
Penalty.
Open the gate, copper, or you'll never see your kid alive again. Yeah, I mean, there's not too many little kid in peril covers, period, surprisingly. That's a pretty cool cover, I have to
That's
say.
the Beyond one. That's the famous airplane.
Yeah, that one's really tough to find. And I'll bet you it tops out. There's probably like a 9.2 out there, and then the next highest is probably like 6.
Yeah, I was going to say.
That's what it is on those.
You have the weird one that unicorn out of nowhere, and the average grade you find on this is like a 2.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you got to think, like, in this time period, there were adults buying this probably, and then
Juvenile delinquents.
I would guess that these books were thrown out more than the superhero ones because
Absolutely.
the people who were buying superheroes probably were buying superheroes before. So if they were already keeping them, they were going to just keep keeping them. But
well, what year was this?
52.
because this is about when
No,
you start
53.
getting. This is when you're going to start getting into the small towns doing burnings of the
Yep.
horror books and stuff. So
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, you have to understand they didn't have a shelf life on anything. They were ordered less than superhero books.
Yeah.
You couldn't go into your dentist office and get a copy of Beyond 12 next to your highlights. Did they have a copy of Beyond 12? You know? They might
depends.
have
Some
had
people had some pretty dodgy dentists, man.
but they might have had an Action 12. They might have even had a Penthouse if it was what's his name, Watley, Tim Watley.
It'd be great to see print runs of something like this because
I tried
they're all over the place.
Yeah, I tried
They
to print runs,
have no clue.
and there's virtually no data on print runs.
No.
But you had the Cadillac PCH titles back then, were like EC and Atlas and Harvey, and then some of the smaller publishers like Ace and Standard. I don't think they put out that much material.
I mean, Orbit.
I remember.
This one's under 10,000 printed, under 1,000 probably more likely.
I remember one of the issues at Comic Book Marketplace. They had gotten their hands on a document from one of the publishers that had actual sales data for a bunch of different titles, and they said something like this is a gold mine because there's no information about what print runs were and everything.
Right.
I mean, if that went up for auction, I would bid on something like that. That'd be a cool.
Yeah, regional sales was a huge thing. What sold regionally is what a lot of things were. I mean, there is a fact that books sold in the Midwest that didn't sell anywhere else, and they were more common here, like the Patsy Walker and the Miss Americas flood the Midwest with that shit. Kit Carson's and stuff like that. So, all right, what else we got? Shock Suspense. Keep going. Interesting known. That's usually
I love ACG stuff.
Is that a Ken Bold cover? That's a pretty badass Ken Bold.
No, that's actually a Harry Lazarus. When they did these True Vision 3D, I have it actually. It's Harry Lazarus, and one of the stories on the inside is printed on black pages, and it just has like perspectives like that, and it's called True Vision 3D without the glasses. It's kind of gimmicky, but it's got really cool perspectives in the art, and that was a Harry Lazarus one there.
That's a nice cover. Good job.
Yeah, it took me years, and I finally tracked down a copy that had a decently clean white cover. And
I was going to say that's probably the hard part to find one that's because you have the major contrast right there. That's like a photo cover before the photo covers.
Yeah, it's tough to find a nice cover of that one.
Yeah. Up Men's Adventures, classic books there. Carl Burgess.
Yeah, and that's a sneaky good title, Men's Adventures. That has some really scarce, awesome stuff.
Men and
some amazing covers.
Yeah,
and some of the stories inside had some of the first sports scenes that were done, boxing scenes that were ever done with some of the early works by some of your favorite artists later on. Your Gil Kane first started doing before superheroes. Fighting. Their only fighting they were doing was literally they were doing boxing matches and stuff. It was pretty interesting.
Men's Adventures, the one that had the Golden Idol melting cover, isn't it?
Yeah, they have that one, and they have a shrunken head decapitation cover. They have another one with just a bizarre sort of weird green guy in a morgue or something with a body on the ground. They got some off-the-wall stuff. It's pretty good.
Superman taking tomahawk chop to a new level.
Woo!
Pretty weird.
Yeah.
And then some of those Marvels.
You can tell they're definitely getting ready for the code.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, the stories inside the Atlas stuff. Like, I bet you this has some interior stories that are awesome.
Yeah, Journey to Mystery. Early Strange Tales, early Journey Mystery are fucking. I'm gonna swear, I don't care. They're phenomenal inside, which is why I've been saying I can't really. I love my Strange Tales 99. I love my Journey Mystery 15s and 6. The early ones are great.
Look at the people you had working on it.
Yeah.
You had Kirby, you had Manili, you had Everett, you had
I mean, you had Stan Lee writing stories in a lot of those.
Exactly.
Yep.
I mean, they're absolutely fantastic. And they're your prototypes. And if you're smart enough, or if you read them enough, and if you look into it enough, you see further story arcs later on down the road embedded in some of those early stories, just with different characters. So,
and better than these.
yeah, DC sucked. Keep going.
Bongo the Chimp.
Yep. And the code.
Looks like that's it.
Not good. All right.
Yeah, nothing good after 55 for this show.
All right. That's
Yeah,
it.
I believe let me just double check. We saw these ones. I think we did see.
Yep, we did see
Yep.
the movies.
All right.
Yep.
Good. Yep. So I'll just do a December one.
Perfect. All right. I'll put this back on. There we go. Good.
Yeah, here you want to see a Men's Adventures that's pretty sought after, and it's on my list. I noticed Mac Daddy Austin mentioned it in there. This is a Men's Adventures book.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yep.
Who did that? Is that
25. I don't know who did the cover. Let me see. Sid Shores.
Sid Shores? That's what I'm like. That's he did most of your spellbounds. Spellbounds.
Yeah, he did some.
Another great title.
He did some of the late timely too. Didn't he do some Marvel Mysteries at the end there and stuff?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
A lot of some of your horror guys, your Carl Burgess, Manili.
Well, Sid Shores got his foot in doing a lot of extra stuff when all the rest of the
doing
guys
Captain America. Yeah, he was doing Captain America.
He
early.
stayed doing art while most of the other guys got drafted.
Yep.
He must have been old or, I don't know, had a bum foot or something.
He was around because he was on all the stuff from 48, 49, 50. He was doing a lot of the Atlas crime stuff.
He was younger. He was younger than those guys.
He was younger. He was younger than all those guys. He was younger than Gil Kane.
But what did he do? How did he get out of there?
I don't know. I don't know. Not everybody went. I know that. I mean, I know there's some people that just didn't. I don't. I mean, I don't know. I know my uncles went, but that's why I didn't. I heard that there were stories like, oh, some people didn't go. They didn't have to go or something. Who's messaging me? Sorry.
Yeah, I feel like, and this is just my personal opinion, and I know there's a historical aspect, but I feel like once you get past World War II, the DC stuff is just, it falls off a cliff, man. It's like, they would have been better off just not printing it because they totally lost their way. They were fully invested in the war, and after the war, and Superman, the Superboy, the Batman, the Wonder Woman, the comic cavalcade, the world's finest, all that stuff. It's like they didn't know what to do with it, and they didn't want to stop putting it out. And it's just, it's goofy and it's childish, and I just think it's, for the most part, not good at all. Now, that's my opinion.
They didn't even do much war stuff.
Huh?
Just some of the earlier covers looked cooler, I think. But
yeah.
They did the war.
They didn't know, they didn't have a theme that they could come up with, so they had, like, you know, Superman fighting a snowman, you know what I mean? And then even when they have like Superman saying it tickles, I mean, I don't know, I feel like they sort of lost their way after the war on those, and it took a while to sort of rebound, and then of course in the Silver Age it became, you know, the best stuff in the history of comics. But I don't know, that's my personal opinion on it. But you can notice it if you look at like the end of the war and then look at all those DC superhero titles right afterwards. It's like they fell off a cliff. It's like they completely had nothing to do with them anymore. They didn't know what to do.
I mean, it was a.
Well, I think because they didn't know what they were doing to begin with, and they weren't doing war, that actually set them up better for when the war was over, because they just kept going with the like goofy whatever. Whereas Timely was all war. And then they were like, what do we do now?
Yeah,
this is true. What the hell are we going to do?
But Timely had Atlas by 48. By 47.
But even then, they were still figuring it out.
Crime and
comedy.
Doing crime. Yeah, they had the He still had the Four Funnies and the Joe Palookas and all that other stuff still going. So, I mean, you had some of the Westerns. I guess you'd have to say whoever the publisher was between those two, there was so many other ones. I don't know.
Yeah, the pre-Marvel stuff though, after the war, I feel like it was much more well-rounded, and they had romance, they had Western, they had horror. You know, they still had, you know, stuff going on. They did Korean War stuff, but the DC, I feel like they just completely lost their way until Showcase 4 came out. Really. But the pre-Marvel stuff,
I don't know. The Flash stuff was good. I kind of think Flash stuff was pretty good. I don't know. We were talking about that. The Gardner Fox. Kind
This
of.
sounds like a good topic.
Yeah.
and it's not all of them. I mean, it's not every single
Yeah.
issue.
But I know exactly what you're saying, because if you think about it, at the same time you had that on, you had Nidors, you had, so many other comics were doing good stuff at the same time that were post-war that DC wasn't. And you're right, you got Green Lantern.
I mean, there's still collectible issues and people go after the runs, and there's still good stuff in there. But the DC stuff, it's like they just fell off a cliff. Whereas the pre-Marvel stuff, they trudged along and still had a variety of well-rounded subjects they were working on. Whereas DC, I feel like they had nothing between the end of World War II and like 1956. From like 45 to 56, they had nothing from DC that was. I mean, it's hit and miss, but for the most part, I feel like it fell off a cliff. Whereas the pre-Marvel after the war, it's decent. I mean, there's a lot of well-rounded, decent stuff from those titles. Yeah, I don't know. That's just my personal opinion. Don't take offense if anybody's into that stuff. It's just all personal taste, but that's just my point of view on it personally.
Right.
Well, if you compare the two, there's toward the closer you get to 50, Marvel produces less and less, and because they start to struggle, and there's even in the, I think, even up to about 1960, they were trying to not do like reprints, and they had some quality guys, but DC was continuously publishing way more books.
Yeah, but I mean, Marvel has the Atlas title and started producing stuff in like 49, 48, 49, and Atlas has got a lot of solid titles. Whereas DC, they just have the same titles with, I don't know, they didn't have, it seemed like they were just treading water.
Yeah, I mean, if you go Atlas big sellers in 48, 49, you've got an entire crime run of Lawbreakers Always Lose. You've got all true crime mystery. You've got crime fighters always win. They correspond with each other. You have that run. At the same time, you've got a 48, 49. You have the whole horror run, the Joe Maneely run, and you've got a war stuff going on, the post-war, pre-Korea War.
Yeah,
that was pretty popular at the time. That's telling much more gory stories of war. The more true stories of war happened after World War II than during World War II. It was less propaganda, more, we need you to fight and buy war bonds. It was much more after the fact that it sucks real bad over there. And it sucked real bad, and I'm having issues with it here, These guys are fighting for their lives.
Sure, there's some like DC fans of stuff from like 45 to 56. I'd be curious to know what their view on it. What were the good books? What were the keys? What were the titles? How are they doing? I'd be curious to hear a DC fan from that era.
And anybody who feels like they, reach out to any of us and tell us what you're thinking. If you want to be on and fight your opponent, but we're trying to think of a reason that DC was any good between the dropping of the atomic bomb and the time Barry Allen shows up.
After, and from when Barry Allen, like for instance, 1957, DC has 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, you got Justice League and everything else, yeah.
DC has 40 titles out, and Marvel in 57 has 8.
Right.
That's around when Marvel lost their distribution, and DC actually bailed them out.
Yep.
Yeah. How many did Dell have? All right, take that same amount. How many did Dell put out? Probably.
Oh boy, I don't know. Tons.
Yeah, I would say all of them. Yeah, it would be ridiculous. And Harvey too. I bet you Harvey.
Harvey probably had quite a few titles.
57. Yeah, I bet you a bunch of Harvey for sure.
Charlton.
61.
Charlton would be pretty up there. Yeah, Thrill. Harvey would have had Thrill comics too, but no, that would be 51 would be that. What year is this? 50?
Like 57, like after Showcase 4, 56, 57.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because this is a Harvey book from 56. I'm trying to think. I can't find who did this cover. It quite possibly, it's in between Elias and Kirby. I don't know who did it. It's number 29. If anybody could find out for me.
Which issue number is it?
Warfront number 29. It's in between Elias, I know, did some early 20s, and Kirby, I know, did in the early 30s. I don't know. I mean, it's a Harvey book.
Looks like Elias.
It could
Looks
be.
like Elias ended with 27.
Right. Okay.
I was just reading up on some of that.
Because the inside almost has that gray tone. I mean, I was just grabbing this to show somebody. This reminds me, you see this panel right here of that gray tone cover that everybody loved. I mean, just a classic look. Hope you don't mind me opening up.
It's unconfirmed creators, but the rumor is that's a Simon and Kirby.
Yeah, it could be, but I didn't know what year they got there. To her, what year they were doing war covers for Harvey. It's because I know Kirby, I know he did in the 30s, like 31, 32 is definitely a Kirby cover, Simon Kirby. But this, I always think, is a Simon Kirby. But again, I have no confirmation anywhere on this book. So that's what I'm looking for. Warfront 29.
There's a Warfront I'm looking for that is, yeah, here we go, number 28.
Ah,
now that is Kirby.
That's Kirby, right?
And I read an article about this, and they're pretty sure the Kirby expert people, whatever, who make that Kirby magazine, say this was a leftover from the Battle series.
Okay,
or no, Foxhole.
Because that's what I've heard this is.
Yeah, that could be.
I've heard this is specifically from a Japanese war, Foxhole, from the Korean War.
Foxhole got canceled.
Foxhole from Korea, from during the Korean War. This was specifically from that. This was originally the panels inside are. But I didn't think that was all Simon Kirby. That's why I keep looking at the inside. I'm like, well, that could be
Well,
yeah.
The inside of that issue, it's got reprints from some earlier ones.
Right. Though, yeah, you can see Next Stop Soul. I know what this is that cover. This is the Foxhole book.
Next Stop Soul was Warren Kramer did the art.
Yeah.
Well, they've got that whole range in that around that number have cover by Kirby. So it wouldn't surprise me if that's also Kirby.
Yeah, I assumed it was. When I found it, I said, "Ooh, that's a good Kirby cover." And then when I said it, I think so. And then I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, I get it. It's gory as fuck. I mean, it's shot this guy right square dead in the head. And this got past the code, by the way. This is very early in the code.
I really want this one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Damn, that's good.
Old, though. Yeah.
Can't believe how hard that is.
Is that 1951?
I'm not sure. It's pre-code. 54.
54.
Right before the code.
Okay.
Yeah, Foxhole's a pretty tough one. Some of those issues,
What is
especially.
Box? How are we, TiVo?
TiVo.
Got some Golden Age pre-hero Marvel books versus pre-Flash or pre-Showcase 4 DC. That obviously Timely and Marvel had less books, but they were better overall than what DC.
I like this cover right here.
Yep. See, that's Ditko, right? Or is that Kirby?
Kirby.
Kirby? Okay. See, that's you had that whole run of Strange Tales of great stuff that, I mean, it doesn't get into, you've got 10 years of 5 great years of 10 years of issues that are so good that the artwork, it's Ditko, Dick Hare's, it's Kirby. I mean, you got Strange Tales, Tales of Suspense, Journey to Mystery, Astonishing Tales, Tales to Astonish, all of them. Check it out. just look at the artwork on the inside. It's phenomenal. And that led up to your Doctor Stranges and your Thors, your Human Torches, your Fantastic Fours, your Hulk. They're all from there. It's true.
This one.
That's a
They're
pretty
all
big one there.
one. Yeah.
That's a pretty big book.
Who's the artist on that?
Probably.
Dick Hares.
That might be a Harry Anderson cover, actually.
Harry Anderson, yeah.
I'm just going off the top of my head. I've never owned a copy of that, but that book went from nothing to thousands of dollars, even in a VG now.
Yeah.
That was all right. That's a tough one.
Is that just his head talking?
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well,
Yep, we're going to be calling it a show. Next week, we're going to go over the next fun stuff. And oh, by the way, I'll be on with Comic Head 84 tomorrow at some point, doing something for John Buscema's birthday. So, should be a fun time. All right, take care, everybody. Have a good one. Thank you for being a friend. Thank you for being here. Let's close out with that new what do you call that fun stuff?
New intro/outro.
New intro.
I like that. It's a good one.
Yeah, this is a fun one. Here we go. All right, take care, everybody.
Catch y'all.